Hey friends, today we are going to finish the New Testament and Bible for this week by learning about the general letters and about the prophecy books. Or actually, there's only one prophecy book, and we're going to learn about those, and I'm going to read to you about each of those, and we're going to finish up the New Testament today. So let's take a look at those general letters and prophecy book. We're going to start with Hebrews. And we think this is perhaps by the author Paul. Luke, Barnabas, Apollos, Silas, Philip, Priscilla, and others are also listed as possible authors. Some key characters are Old Testament men and women of the faith. Some key stories, it's written like a sermon or a letter written to Hebrew Christians. The book of James, another general letter by the author James. There are no key characters listed, and some key stories it was written to help teach right Christian behavior. So if you want to know how to behave as a Christ follower, James is a wonderful book to read for that. 1 Peter. Author Peter. Some key characters are Peter, Silas, and Mark. Some key stories. It offers encouragement to suffering Christians. 2 Peter. Author Peter. Key characters Peter and Paul. Some key stories, a warning to Christians about false teachers and how to encourage their growth in faith and knowledge of Christ. 1 John, author John, key characters John and Jesus. Some key stories, it reassures Christians in their faith. 2 John, author John, key characters John, the chosen lady, and her children. Some key stories, it emphasizes the basics of following Christ. So if you want to know the basics of following Christ, I would highly recommend reading 2 John. 3 John, author John, key characters John, Gaius, Diotrephes, and Demetrius. Some key stories, a letter to Gaius to commend his hospitality and encourage him in his Christian life. And the final general letter of the New Testament is Jude, author Jude, key characters Jude, James, and Jesus. Some key stories, reminds the church of the need to stay strong in the faith. And the final book of the entire Bible and the New Testament is Revelation. This has a lot of prophecy, and we're actually going to learn about this a little bit deeper later on in the school year. So the author is John. Some key characters are John and Jesus. Some key stories is it reveals the full identity of Christ and gives warning and hope to believers. All right, guys, that wraps up the reading of the New Testament books and the descriptions. I hope you guys have enjoyed this week in Bible and learning about the different books of the Bible. So go ahead through and finish all of your Friday assignments and materials for Bible this week. And I hope you guys have had a great week. I'll talk to you soon.